Motivation. What the heck is motivation? When I first started going to personal development events, it's like everyone was so motivated all the time. And I started thinking that if I didn't feel motivated, then I wasn't going to be successful. Or if I didn't feel motivated, then like there was something wrong with me. Hi Lisa, welcome. If I didn't feel motivated, I wasn't successful. If I didn't feel motivated, there was something wrong with me. If I didn't feel motivated, I wasn't doing something I loved. If I didn't feel motivated, I had to get motivated, right? It was like always this thing. And for a while, when I observed other people in this industry, in personal development, bettering themselves at any level, I was like, why are they always so freaking motivated? Hi, Heaven, I love you. Hi, Darla, welcome. Hi, Amanda, welcome. I was like, how are these people always so motivated? And if you read books by, men in their 50s and 60s and 70s, it's like everyone's so damn motivated. So I was like, what's wrong with me? Can anyone relate? Like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get motivated? Why are all these people so motivated all the time? And does motivation equal success? Does motivation equal money? Does motivation equal, development? Like, how was motivation measuring success? It didn't make sense for me. I was like, there's no way as human beings we can always just be like so motivated to do stuff. And so for a while I adopted that belief, like, gotta motivate yourself. Like, I've gotta be motivated. If I'm not motivated, then I'm not gonna be successful. Hi, Patty! And then I burnt out of trying to motivate myself all the time. And I was like, this sucks. Like, this is not the way. Sometimes I'm not motivated. Sometimes I'm just chilling out. Like, I'm just calm. I'm not, like, off the charts, off the wall, like, let's go change the world. Sometimes I'm just, like, being Maddie. And I want to be cozy on a couch and, like, snuggle for a day. Certainly, if we can have all the things that we want in the world, and if it's true about what is preached in the personal development industry of you can be, do, or have anything that you set your mind to, well, then I can be successful and still not be motivated some days. Yesterday I talked about paradigms in the sense of like belief systems, right? Like the employee mindset comes with like its own belief system of like, an employee mindset belief system. A victim mindset comes with this whole belief system. An entrepreneurial mindset comes with this whole belief system. And as someone in personal development, a person traditionally in personal development gets introduced to this new whole belief system. And part of that kind of toxic belief system that personal development can project onto people is that that people always have to be motivated and you have to always be like happy and like change your emotional state, right? Like Tony Robbins, like, like let's go do it. Let's conquer the world. But I want to caution you guys, and I said this yesterday, but I want to repeat it today. Whatever you're buying into is a new belief system of some category, right? Entrepreneurs have their belief system. CEOs have their belief system. The 9-to-5ers have their belief system. Employees have their belief system. Mormons have their, like, everyone has a belief system. Everyone has a set of beliefs that comes with who they think they are or like what they identify with. But what if we got to choose what our own belief systems were, right? It's in scripture, it's in books. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and doors shall be open to you. I think I butchered that one, but you get what I'm saying? In scriptures, in scripture, in the Quran, in personal development, in books, it's everywhere. Like, you can have whatever you want. Like, ask and it shall be given to you. But then people get into personal development and they just assume that all the beliefs that come with personal development are true and that you need to accept every single belief in order to be successful. No, you don't. Believe it or not, you still get to create your own beliefs. You still get to create your own reality. I hate rules. I hate them. And when someone told me, well, I should rephrase, I don't like rules that go against the way that my soul wants to experience life on earth. So therefore, I make my own rules, so long as they're moral, legal, and ethical. Okay? But so many people get trapped into this belief system of personal development, and they think that they're like so great, and they start thinking things like, I can't hang around people that aren't going where I'm going, or the people that I hang out with, the 5 most people I hang around with, they're going to change me and they're going to make me bad, so I have to distance myself from anyone who's not in personal development. And then all of a sudden it's like you start shaming people who are in personal development, and you're like, well, I'm better than you are because I'm studying my brain and I'm studying my mind, and like, you should do this too. No. 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 Mm-mm. That's not how it works. That's the toxic side of personal development. You can still progress and not lose friends. It's called communification. Isn't that a wild concept? You can progress. You can go from broke to billionaire and still have all the friends in your life if you want to. Now, it doesn't mean that there's not certain people in your life that may be toxic, that may be crossing boundaries, that may be, please no one get that. I mean, come on, love me. This is going to be on my Instagram later, like this. Certainly, crossing boundaries, people that are toxic, yes, by all means, get them out of your life. But when I first got in the industry, this is so sad, but like, I started looking at people differently because I didn't think they were like, it makes me sad to reflect on this part of me when I was going through this, but it was because I was so heavily in the masculine toxic side of personal development that I started to really believe that I couldn't hang out with people that weren't going where I wanted to go because they were going to stop me from getting there. And so, like, I wasn't the greatest friend for a while. And like, yeah, I could have been better. And I see so many people do this, and it makes me so sad because we're not here like to judge each other for life choices. We're here to follow our own soul's path and follow our own path to our own enlightenment and our own self-fulfilling prophecy, whatever it is that we desire. But we don't get to choose and demand what other people need to do in their life in order to be worthy of our love. What happened to unconditional love? So the first part of this, I want you to kind of check yourself. It's like, what am I allowing myself to believe? And do these beliefs really serve me and what I want for me? Because for me, the motivation thing, I didn't want to believe that I always was going to be motivated and off the fucking walls. I didn't want to believe that because that's tiring for me. Some people, that works for them and they believe that, and then that's their truth, and therefore that's their life experience, and it works. For me, it didn't work. So I decided to create the belief that I get to flow with my life. Like, my life flows. Sometimes I feel super excited and motivated to go do something, and I go and do it. Sometimes I don't, and I do it anyway. Like today, guys, I didn't know what I was going to talk about 5 minutes before I pressed the button to go live today. I didn't. We were supposed to go live at 11:11 a.m. Eastern today. We didn't, because I scheduled poorly today. And like in the personal development industry, be like, oh, like you have to time manage better, you have to manage your activities better, you have to do all this stuff. And I would have shamed myself and judged myself and done all these things. But instead I create a belief that allows me to be myself and be free being myself and work with myself and not against myself. And then I can experience freedom. And then I attract people who also vibe with how I am and how I be. And it frees them. Like when you live in your truth, you free other people. When you set boundaries for yourself, you free other people. We'll talk about boundaries another time, but today we're talking about creating your own beliefs so that you're not shaming or judging yourself all the time. Like if you have a belief going on that says you need to wake up at 5 a.m. to be successful, do you know how long ago I said that belief can go fuck itself? I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. So I don't want to believe that I have to wake up every day at 5 a.m. to be a success. I want to believe that I can wake up when I have 8 hours of sleep every night, and then I'm going to be successful because my brain is healthy. Now, there's also a toxic side of this, right? Because then it's like, well, I don't have to do anything or be anything or do anything and everything will come to me. And like, that's not true either. There is a side where it's like discipline. You've got to have this discipline to yourself to follow through with the things that you tell yourself you're going to do. I used to hate the word discipline, you guys. That word used to make me shrivel up like a shrimp on a pan. Have you ever cooked shrimp on a pan? They go from like basking in the sun to like, it's so cold, it's freezing, get me off this pan. Really funny. But, where was I? Oh no! What was I just talking about? Discipline. So, you've got to have the ability to give yourself a command and follow through. I used to hate the word discipline. It used to make me be like a shrimp, like, oh no, this is awful. But when I realized that discipline is not being disciplined, I don't like being disciplined by others at all. Don't tell me what to do. I'll leave, I'll quit. Don't tell me what to do. I hate being told what to do. But I do love self-discipline because it allows me to feel safe with myself. I'm disciplined with my body because I believe that I want to live in a healthy vehicle during my time here. And so I create a system, a masculine structured system that I can surrender to in my feminine and just do it every single day because I know that that's going to lead me to more of what I want. It's going to help me feel better in my body, and therefore it's going to help me surrender to myself more. Self-discipline, self-leadership is everything. If you don't know how to lead yourself and discipline yourself, you've got problems. How could you ever lead other people if you don't understand how to navigate yourself? God won't give you people to lead until you know how to lead yourself. That is a fact. So once you decide what you want your beliefs to be and what you want your flow to be, like I had to decide for myself that waking up at 5 a.m. to be successful was not true for me, that being and feeling motivated all the time was not true for me, that sometimes I wasn't going to feel motivated, but I would set up a system for myself that I could surrender to so that at the end of every day, whether I was motivated or not, I could be like, today was a good day, I'm proud of myself. Today was a good day, I'm proud of myself. Took care of my body, I eat well, I ate well, right? I did this, this, and this in my business, so my body moved forward, my relationship moved forward, my business moved forward, my health moved forward, like things move forward in my life every single day. I don't like falling asleep at night being like, what moved forward today? Nothing? Now this is just me, right? You may be different. Just because this is my truth doesn't mean it's your truth. You may, and I have friends who are in this industry that they literally sometimes do nothing all day and they absolutely love it, and there's a time and a place for that. Once you've created the discipline and the structure behind it, then you can go do nothing all day and dream and visualize and envision your future and create your future in your mind's eye. And it is 1,000,000% effective, and it actually counts as action. But if you haven't set up the system for yourself so that you can surrender on certain days, then when you go to surrender in a hammock outside, you're thinking about, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to go do this, I have to do this. You have no structure set up for yourself, so you don't feel safe with yourself to surrender. And if you don't feel safe with yourself to surrender, then you're actually never, like, doing nothing is actually not ever going to be effective for you. Because when you're doing nothing, you're actually doing a lot of mental activity, thinking, worrying, doubting about, is it okay that I'm doing nothing right now? You've got to know how you operate, and you've got to know, like, what is the thing that's pulling you? Like, what is this thing that you want to be disciplined for? Right? It's my absolute dream on my time on planet Earth. It's my dream that I get to help 11,111 plus humans become millionaires through joy. Like, I would die for this. I'm not kidding. I love this so much. There's so much that's going to come out this year out of me, out of God through me, to help people become millionaires through joy. Like, I can't tell you guys how excited I am about this. And so because I have this big context of my life pulling me, of why I'm here and what I'm doing here, then I want discipline through the day so that I can surrender to this bigger purpose that's pulling me, that I'm gravitating towards. Because when you do nothing and you don't have motivation, so then you don't do anything because you don't have motivation, and you think that you need to have motivation in order to act, so then you do nothing because you don't have motivation. Then you go to sleep at night and you're like, well, I had this big context, but I wasn't motivated today, so I did nothing. Now I feel even worse. Now I feel depressed. Because I allowed my feelings to control my whole entire day. Now, this conversation is very different, okay? Very different than using your emotional guidance system to make decisions. Very different conversation. This conversation is about doing things that you know are for your own personal betterment and development, that are going to pull you closer to your dreams here on earth, that you want to do every single day. And sometimes your human fleshy self gets in the way and doesn't want to do those things. But your soul knows that those things are the things that are ultimately going to lead you to the thing that you want the most. That's where you want to have discipline. I'm not talking about like, this strategy works for everybody else, so I have to be disciplined and force myself to do it because it works for everybody else, so now I'm going to do it and I'm going to make it work and I'm going to be disciplined and make it work. No, that's not the vibe. I'm talking about the things that your soul knows that it wants to do every single day in order to get a certain place. I'm talking about the action that's been inspired through you to do in order to pursue the thing that you want. That's where you want to have discipline. Those things. Like if you get inspired randomly to go live on Facebook for 365 fucking days straight. I didn't just decide this. I wasn't like, oh, this is a brilliant idea. Like, let's do this. Let's go. This sounds like it's going to pay off wildly. No, I did not have that conversation. It was an inspired idea that I became enthused to do. I was out doing my nothingness, and an inspired idea popped into my mind, and I was like, I've never been inspired to do that before, so I haven't. I know that that's a thing, that I could do that. It's always been at my disposal, but I never felt inspired or called to do it until now. And so once I made the decision, I'm going to do this because my soul feels aligned with it, now I've got to set up a structure. Without the structure, how am I going to hold myself accountable to my soul's action, my inspired action? So I said, okay, every day at this time, I'm going live. Every day, no matter what. And today, guess what? The motivation wasn't there to come on live. But here I am. Why? Because at one point in time, this was an inspired action. And just because today, I'm not in the, wow, I'm ready to, even though now I am, through action and doing this, I love it so much. I love speaking to you guys. I love this community so much. Now I'm firing. But before this, I really wasn't. But I'm disciplined enough to follow through with what my soul says to do. I know that my soul wants to be healthy here. I know that my soul wants to have a huge fucking impact on earth. And so I have to navigate my human self enough so that my soul can shine through here. If I let my human self win, then I'll never do anything, guys. I'm one of the laziest people you'll ever meet. Eric and I, we love doing nothing. We love, doing nothing for a day and, binge watching movies and just, hanging out together. We would love to just do nothing and go live on a land with animals. But we both have big soul purposes here. And those are always, hey, hello, hi, hello, I'm still here, hello, what are we doing today, hello, are we going, what are we doing, are we moving, are we not? We're lazy people, but our souls have big missions here. So there's two parts of us, right? There's our human fleshy self that has human desires and wants to be lazy and gets tired and gets sleepy and has emotions and has this, right? We have a human experience. And then we have this soul that resides inside of us that's always seeking expression. We have this soul that resides inside of us that's always like, hello, can you let me out? I would like to play today. So you have to be able to navigate both sides of yourself. And motivation happens when you take your human side and you say, we're going to do this, we're going to follow the soul's purpose, we're going to follow inspired action, we're going to do this, we're going to get excited because my soul wants to, I can feel my soul within me seeking expression, we're going to do this, here we go, press the button, go live. And you surrender to your soul's purpose, you surrender to your soul's plan, you surrender to your inspired action, which is a soul thing. But most people allow their human selves to take over everything, and they deny their soul of expression. So when they get that inspired idea to go and quit their job and start a business on their own, they say, no, not today. I'm never going to do that. It's too hard. It's too much. I'm not motivated to do that, so probably can't do it. Or they get the inspired action to move across the world or move, end a relationship, start a relationship. Whatever it is. Go live on Facebook for 365 days. But then they say, oh, that's too much, that's too hard, I can't do it. The action that's inspired to you is a godly thing, it's a source thing. It transcends human timelines. I don't know why I'm doing this, guys. I really shouldn't, for what I get paid to talk for an hour with one human, thousands of dollars. It makes no logical sense for me to be here doing this at this stage in my career. Yet here I am. It's not my human plan. It's my soul's plan. And for the love of me, I don't really know where this is going to go. But here I am. Inspired action is like that. Inspired action is the thing that comes up within you that you're like, oh, I want to do that. I should do that. But then, if you let your human self get in the way and you say, I can't do that, that's too much, that's too long, I'm not disciplined enough. I'm not going to have the motivation for that. Do you think I honestly sat there at day one and said, yeah, I have the motivation to do this for 365 days straight? No! I was really terrified. Am I going to be able to do this for 365 days straight? I honestly don't know. No, I knew I was going to do it, but I don't know if I was going to really regret it at some points. Right? So the takeaways from today that I want you to leave today with are, what are the beliefs that you've allowed yourself to hold on to that just are not serving you anymore? If you shame yourself every day because you don't wake up at 5 a.m., it's time to change your belief around when you can wake up and what that means for you. The second part of this is, I want you to look at your self-discipline. I want you to look at your ability to lead yourself. How effective are you at leading yourself? Are you a good leader to your soul? Can you lead your own soul to what it wants? Are you self-disciplined? When you give yourself a command to go and do something, do you do it? Do you have integrity with yourself? Because if you don't have integrity with yourself, how do you have integrity with others? If you can't lead yourself, how do you lead others? You don't respect yourself enough to go to the gym 3 times a week because you want to? How can you lead others? A big part of what I help people do is lead themselves, because when you lead yourself, God responds. When you lead yourself, the universe aligns. Magic begins when you lead yourself. And then the last part of this is to let go of the idea that you need to be motivated in order to take action. Motivation is something that comes and goes. And if you feel it and you can move and work with it, do it. But don't rely on it to take action. Don't rely on it to pursue your dreams, because it never comes. Motivation comes from movement. And so if you never move, how do you tap into the frequency of motivation? You can't. You've got to start the movement in order to get motivated. Like, I'm motivated now after talking for X amount of time, but I wasn't motivated at the beginning of the call, but here I am anyway, because I knew that my soul belongs here every day at a certain time.